Hey everyone, I'm Multiple456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to episode 43 of Let's Platinum God of War. Alright, so let's continue. Let's have Atreus read this.
Another name. Kara!
Someone who loved the Valkyries enough to do this? I wonder. Perhaps the Queen?
Okay, so we've read 4 out of the 8 names, and all of them were written in the Muspelheim language. The other 4 are written in the Niflheim language, so we won't be able to read those until we've actually got all the pieces. The next thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to learn my final skill here, Seeding Earth, just because I have the experience, so I may as well. And that'll pretty much complete like all of the skills except for these 2 here for Trace, which we'll get eventually, and then these 4, which we'll get eventually as well. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the wolves, and I think I'm going to upgrade this once. And it's going to allow us to summon an additional wolf. So, bang, let's do that. Now I haven't... Oh yeah, I wanted to check if this counted. It did! Hooray! So if I... Literally, all I have to do is press L1 and circle right now, and I'll gain 3,500 experience. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I'll use it the next chance I get. So that's good. Okay, and now there is a very interesting thing that we can do here, and I'm going to do it. There is a secret axe pommel in this game that you can only uncover, I believe, by... I can't exactly remember. I think there was some kind of like map that you could purchase with the original game, and it had a bunch of inscriptions around the map, and if you deciphered it and translated it using the language of the game. So for example, like the Muspelheim, like that rune up there, I think is the letter M. Some of them are obvious like that. The other one, for example, like the Seether, is that like weird looking D with the slash through it. So if you decipher it, you come up with, it basically tells you to go to the Muspelheim Tower, face Tyr's Temple, and then perform a secret code. So I'm going to try and do that. And the way you do it is you hold, the best way is hold down L2, and then you have to look in these directions. So let's try this. Excuse me, here we go. Middle, left, middle, right, left, middle, floor, right, left, middle. And there we go. So when you hear that first gong, that means you got halfway through. When you hear the second gong, you got all the way through. And you close, that actually counts as a realm tear, and you get the Forbidden Grip of the Ages, Legendary Axe Pommel. An ancient relic that increases all of Kratos' stats, adds a concussive wave to the end of the R1 combo. And it has everything. Look at that. 8 strength, 6 runic defense, vitality, luck, and cooldown. So really, really, really good. It's actually, at the moment, it's probably not quite as good as the grip, so I'll keep the grip on for right now. But I'll put it on once we upgrade it, which is actually surprisingly easy to do as well. Yeah, so that counts as a realm tear. We closed 5. We just got 3,000 experience back, and if I press L1 and circle, I can get another 3,500. So, hooray! Maybe I should have done that, because now I'm traveling to another area, but it could be recovering while I do that. Oh well. Yes. Okay, so now this next part. Everything's going splendidly. I'm really happy about it. So we come down here, we can get a nice little Hacksilver pouch as well. The reason I didn't collect that Yggdrasil Dew earlier that you could see, I think we passed it twice, is because if you just do this, you can collect it right now. Yeah, this has all been routed out and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I think I did a pretty good job so far. Alright, defense. Is that what I wrote down? Hang on a sec. I wrote down strength. Let me just change that. Live editing, defense. There we go. Okay, now here is a tricky part. The next logical place to go to is the Niflheim Tower, and then go into the Iron Cove and Isle of Death and all this kind of stuff. However, you want to actually skip this for now and go over here to the Forgotten Caverns. It's really close to the Forgotten Caverns, sort of like right here. There's a...
You are...
Hang on a sec. There's an NPC... Yeah, hold on, Kratos and Mimir. There's an NPC that will give you a quest that requires you to collect stuff or do stuff in this area. So you definitely want to go there first. So let's head there first and hear what Kratos and Mimir have to say.
Full of stories. When will you tell one that entertains?
I beg your pardon?
He just insulted you.
Yeah, I got that. So you want a corker, do you? Very well, my brothers. I'll tell you the story of Hrungnir, the brawler. The real story.
There was a huge battle, right? His shrine had him in the middle, fighting off Aesir.
A pretty story, but no. Hrungnir, you see, was born with neither head nor heart. So the giants had to complete him with stone. He was strong, to be sure, but also a perfect simpleton. Odin met him wandering in Midgard one day. Found him so amusing, so harmless, so gullible, that he invites him back to his palace in Asgard. There he gives Hrungnir his fill of mead, and goads him into all manner of boasts and antics, all for the amusement of the court. I was there. I saw the Aesir laugh as Hrungnir leapt upon his shield and swore he'd kill us all and take our womenfolk back to Jotunheim. Then Thor shows up. And does he laugh? Oh no. Thor takes one look at the drunken stone buffoon and brings down Mjolnir on his head so hard that he's got chunks of Hrungnir in his own skull to this day. Thor is so startled by the face full of rock, he doesn't notice Hrungnir's body topple right onto him with a sickening crunch. And again, the roars of laughter echo through the palace halls.
That's an awful story, Mimir. Nothing like the ones Mother told me.
Let that be a lesson, my son. Truth is seldom so pretty as myth and legend.
Should we dock on this beach?
Okay. That was actually perfectly timed almost. Because I don't know, he said, should we dock on this beach? And I don't know if that interrupted Mimir's conversation there. But anyway, Hrungnir, a mighty giant made of frost and stone. Looks like he had a huge fight with Aesir and Vanir gods. He battles Thor, and it looks like they both lose. Hrungnir the brawler, a head of stone but the mind of a child. Odin tricks him into getting drunk and rowdy in Asgard. Thor smashes his head, but he ends up crushed, and everybody laughs. Aesir are the worst. Is there anything else? No? Okay, cool. Oh, I pressed up. Okay. Let's climb up here. Talk to this guy.
Bothar, Thrym, Eric.
I'm sorry, that's so funny. We'll find out what he's talking about there, but it's like Bolvar, Frimund, Eric. It just doesn't fit. But anyway, let's talk to him.
Are you okay?
No, son. My goods are underwater. My men are drowned, and yet their bodies continue to walk the beaches.
Hellwalkers. They plague these lands.
I was their captain. They died because of me. But these abominations sully their memories. I will find a way to free them from their tortured state. In this, I am determined. A thunderstorm scattered all three of my ships across the lake. I know not what I did to anger Thor, but his judgment was swift and brutal.
Okay. So he had... he's got like... men or something? I think Kratos is going to talk about it.
What a sad story.
Yes. We should help him.
Really?
You are surprised.
Well, yeah. I didn't think you'd care about helping a spirit.
Fighting more Hellwalkers is good experience for you.
Ah.
Yeah, but there's more to it than that. He talks about it later. I didn't fully understand what his point of view was, but it was something to do with the fact that like he led men in battle, which Kratos did, and he respects him or something like that. But yeah. Okay.
Exercising?
Oh. Yeah, and telling me again. Okay, so I went back to the Niflheim Tower because this is actually where one of the... It says here, kill the Hellwalker crew, if I could ever... Anyway, you can see it there. Am I on all? Show all. Okay, cool. So let's go up. We're going to have to fight these guys with our fists because they have, whatchamacallit, protection to my axe. So let's try and do this. Nice. Got one. Ow. That was quite powerful. Goodbye. Bang. Easy. Yeah, knocking him off is pretty good. Okay, grab this.
Were all those guys part of his crew? That's a tough crew.
And all were his responsibility.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Does it frighten you? Responsibility.
Oh, no. I don't think so. I mean, I think it used to, but not as much anymore.
Why is that?
Well, being out here, with you, makes me feel more grown up.
I like that answer. Alright, I'll just show you that this is a Niflheim cipher when I try and read it.
Tyr's braziers, a symbol of the light that binds all realms together.
Why would he use those strange runes, though?
Now you mention it, he wouldn't.
Let me try that again.
Kaveka! Well, worth a shot.
Alright, it doesn't really tell you, but yeah. This is another realm tear. It contains two level 6 heavy Draugr. It's possible to win, but because they can kill you in one hit, and because there's two of them and you can't really push them off the edge, I think you could maybe with the Horn of Heimdall, but because it's so challenging, I'm not gonna bother. It's not really a big deal if we don't do it right now, so we'll leave it. Okay. Maybe I'll try and use Aegis protection on this next part here. So now we want to go all the way... Oh, actually, before we do, we want to go around here and collect this Yggdrasil Dew, which I actually forgot what it was. So I'm going to type this up as well.
Mimir, why don't you tell us the story of the giant that stole Thor's hammer?
Happily, my boy. It involves your friend Freya, too, though I don't expect it's one she'd enjoy being reminded of. The giant was called Thrym, and he proved cunning enough to make off with Mjolnir while the Thunder Lummox slept. Sadly for Thrym, he didn't always think with his brain. Though he had robbed the greatest giant killer of his greatest weapon, he offered to trade it back to the Aesir in exchange for Freya as his bride. Now, at this point, Freya was married to Odin, and Odin, frankly, would have traded her for a sufficiently strong mead, but he saw an opportunity here. Thrym's palace was in Jotunheim, and only giants know the way. By agreeing to the marriage, they'd have to escort Freya back to their realm. So, Odin coerced Freya into using her Seithar magics to conceal Thor, so he could sneak along with her and infiltrate Jotunheim. When the hammer was produced as the wedding dowry, Thor revealed himself. He took back Mjolnir and wasted no time in smashing Thrym's skull, followed by every other giant present for the festivities. The only thing that put a stop to it was Freya, who wanted no part of this massacre. She cast a powerful spell that hurtled them both out of Jotunheim with no means of return. Odin was livid, hoping that Thor's foothold in Jotunheim would become his own. And oh, would he ever revenge himself upon Freya?
What is the point of this story, Head?
Well, for Thrym, the lesson would be to keep his priorities straight. For Freya, it's that doing good has a price.
Just quickly read this. Thrym, a frost giant king who stole Thor's hammer, but it looks like Thor kills everyone anyway. Thrym the Cunning ransomed Mjolnir for Freya, and Odin went along to sneak Thor into Jotunheim. If not for Freya, he might have killed every last giant there.
For Thor, it's that no object of power makes you what you are, and if what you are is the biggest butchering bastard in the Nine Realms, nobody can take that away from you.
Okay, man. So Freya has been like tricked into doing a lot of terrible things. Odin must be really smart. Alright, Yggdrasil Dew of Hrungnir. Okay, now let's go here now. Here's another location of his crew. I guess to kind of be careful here as well. How did the hell did that miss? Okay. I have to also be careful because there's a fire giant that's here. I'm gonna try and kill these guys. Or fire ancient, I should say. I said giant. Come on, come on. Nice, nice. Kill him. Nice. How are you? Oh yeah. Get him. Alright, that's good. Really want to use my... Nice.
Seriously, how did this one captain lead so many men?
He had their loyalty, so they followed.
And then they all died. He must have been a bad leader.
Why do you think that?
Well, he led all these men to their deaths.
True. But these men chose to follow. Even good leaders make poor choices. The best take responsibility for them. Remember this.
Okay, here we go. Nice, we did it. Alright, that was really good.
Never seen one of those before. They look like they walked straight out of hell.
Alright, let's have a quick look at the beast tree. Fire Ancient. I could feel the heat off this one from the boat. I guess now we know what happened to all these broken ships. Okay, interesting. Let's collect what we can. Ancient's Heart, cool. Could finally make the other ancient piece. Fire Sigil of Focus, rare enchantment. Increases resistance to burn damage by 50%. We got the Frost one earlier. I think that's Stone Falls, and now we got this one over here. Ancient's Rubble 5, Solid Sparta 5, Steel 2, and a whole bunch of Arc Silver as well. So yeah, you can see like this is huge. There's so many resources around. There's also, this is not a treasure map, but it's just a location that you can dig at. Weird that they chose to like add like both of them. I also used Aegis Protection there, so I've now maxed out that goal. Let's just have a look at it real quick. Yeah, so now all I have is Summoner, which I still have to do 33 times. Shatterer, which is difficult. There's another 14 to finish that off. Burning enemies killed, 12 for those, and I haven't been cleaving, but I will eventually start doing that again. There's a map here, or a lore piece. Let's have a look.
Sir.
I actually forgot which one it is.
Another map. Great.
Okay, it's a map, cool. Creation Island. Okay, this one we will be able to get, but later. This is the actual, it says, why waste a life worshipping those who were created by another? I honor Buri, first among gods, and he from whom the Aesir sprang. I've left him tribute on the island that honors him. So that's Buri's storeroom. I skipped it, but it was right here in the Stone Falls. We'll come back later when we're a little bit stronger. I think that's it, right? Yep, that's everything. Cool, that went well. It's very important.
Father,
Hang on.
were you ever a leader?
Many years ago, yes. I led men in battle.
Were you a good leader?
It is complicated.
Did you
no
ever...
more questions, boy. Focus on the task at hand.
Yes, sir.
It's very important that you do that quest now. I'm sorry. So we got Vitality. You know what? Hang on.
Mimir, what can you tell me about that giant lady with the bow?
I'll just quickly pause there. Sorry, I cut out my coughing. It's very important that you do that quest now, because after we complete everything in this area, and I think it's just before moving on, some new enemies spawn there, and they're like level 7 and 6, and they're very, very, very strong. And you have to fight all of them. Like you have to fight the level 6 and 7 enemies. You have to fight the Dead Freight, which is the name of the quest, Dead Freight, which is clever, like dead weight. You have to fight them and the Fire Ancient all at once. So make sure you get that complete now. All right, let's continue the Mimir's story.
She was called Skadi, Queen of the Hunt. Her father was Thiotzi, who could take the shape of any wild creature, and taught Skadi how to hunt them all. From the ribs of pack beasts, she fashioned second feet, allowing her to glide upon the snow so no animal could evade her. She became a huntress beyond compare, even to any god. Odin himself wanted her for his bride, believing she would bear him strong sons. But she spurned his affections, and for that insult, Odin vowed revenge. It was put forth that the Aesir were plagued by an eagle who would steal the precious golden apples of Idun. Not even the finest archer among the gods could bring it down. Odin knew that Skadi could not resist the temptation to prove herself superior, and so she joined the hunt. Skadi tracked the eagle as it flew where she alone could glide, and loosed an arrow from her unerring bow. When she collected her quarry, she found no eagle at all, but her own father, poor Thiotzi, slain by his own daughter. She was overcome with grief and shame, for there is nothing nature so reviles as a child who kills their parent. Skadi succumbed to her fate as winter's blanket fell, holding her father as the mountain held her in an embrace to last eternity.
Well, that was sad.
Aye. There aren't many happy endings for the giants, I'm afraid.
Okay. And there's a lot of patricide themes in this game. A legendary giant huntress, one of Mother's favorites. She could hunt birds, boars, deer, anything. Her father taught her how, but what happened to him? Her father Thiazi could take the form of any creature. Odin got jealous and tricked Skadi into hunting an eagle that was Thiazi in disguise. Is she still out there somewhere under the frozen mountains? That's pretty cool. Hope we meet her in the sequel. Spoilers that she's not in this game. Alright, there's a quick battle here with two wolves. Do I have enough damage? No, I don't. I was trying to freeze him, so like, oh, I got it. Didn't I? Did that count? Let me just quickly check. I think it was on, I can't remember, 17? 16? Yeah, I think that one might have counted. There's a realm tear here. There's no fight. You just have to close it, so we'll do that real quick now. And we get some regular Dust of Realms. That's pretty good. There's a turnstile here. We don't need to use it because it's for this area, but we don't need to use it from this location. We can actually use it later, so don't worry about it. I think we'll leave things here and continue next time. For now, I want to thank you all for watching episode 43 of Let's Play God of War. My name is Ultima456. You're the Ultimates, and I'll see you next time.